Hello everyone and thanks for joining us on Midday News. We'll begin this half hour with President Bola Tinubu's first meeting with the newly appointed service chiefs at the presidential villa a few days after making sweeping changes in the military hierarchy. During the meeting, President Tinubu charged the newly appointed service chiefs to justify the confidence reposed in them by further enhancing professionalism, vigilance and comradeship that defines Nigeria's armed forces. It could be recalled that the presidency insisted that the shake-ups in the furtherance of the efforts of the federal government to strengthen the national security architecture. And joining me live in the studio is the former director of the Department of State Services, Mike Ejiofor. Thank you for joining us on the Midday News. Yeah, so let's just go straight to it. Nigerians face multiple security challenges. You look at it from insurgency, banditry, kidnapping, and all of that. What should be at the top of these top priorities for these new service chiefs?
Well, first of all, we must try to appreciate the outgone service chiefs, especially the Chief of Defense Staff, who was more or less a rallying point, among the service chiefs. And they've done their best under the circumstance, and we must appreciate them. Then coming to the new service chiefs, having a meeting with the president is normal because the president is also concerned about the security situation in the country. So you must have charged them to go ahead and possibly consolidate on the gains made by the outgoing service chief. Luckily enough, the former chief of army staff is now the chief of defense staff, so he's on a familiar terrain. They work together. The most important thing, like the president has always insisted, is that there must be that synergy, there must be that cooperation among the various agencies, because no one single agency can do it alone. And with the coordination from the NSA and the other security agencies, I think we'll consolidate and make more progress in terms of the fight against insecurity.
Some analysts have also said, argue that leadership change alone is actually not enough. Do you think that structural reforms like this, in the security architecture, are more crucial than appointments?
Well, for me, I don't think changing the service chiefs alone will bring the needed result. I think we also need to do things differently. I take, for instance, in terms of funding. You agree with me that this year, 2025, is the highest budgetary allocation to defense since the inception of this country. But where is the money? We are yet to start implementation of a 2025 budget. We have 2023-24 running simultaneously. So it's not just sufficient to get the budget, but it's also necessary that the budget implementation will be followed strictly. And I also expect that the National Assembly should be able to carry out its oversight functions in terms of purchase of equipment, in terms of purchase of armor. And the new service chiefs should also expand their frontiers in terms of collaboration with foreign other military and services, in terms of getting more support from the international community. I think it's necessary.
Yeah, talking about that, you remember that, some persons have spoken about reforms. So what kind of reforms or operational changes do you think that the service chiefs must implement immediately to arrest the security menace that we have?
Such reforms cannot be carried out without funds. So it's important that the funds are made available to enable them in terms of, armament, mostly, or technology are not things you buy off the shelf. They have to be ordered, and the money must be available. You remember that some of the aircraft we ordered are yet to arrive. It takes time. So, but in the meantime, the interim, I expect the service chiefs to look into the welfare of the troops. Because I can tell you that when the morale of the troops are high, they go and do wonders. Not only that, you have to do specialized training. Look at some specialized training, send them about maybe 1, 2, 3 weeks, and in terms of collaboration, you get the expertise that they require to fight this insecurity, because it's lasting for too long. And it's more critical now because in a few months, now, a year now, we should be talking of an election. So if we don't have this insecurity solved, it becomes a problem for the government to campaign. And I don't think the government will want to campaign under this condition, despite the progress we've made so far.
One of the things that is actually lacking between the military and the people is public trust. And if you look at it, public confidence in the security sector has been low in recent years. How can the new military chiefs, be able to restore that and boost the public trust?
Well, it will not. It will be wrong for us to completely rely on the military for that public trust
to come back.
The government has a major role to play in restoring that confidence. In terms of provision, I was reading in the papers, you can see the price of commodities like rice is coming down. So government needs to provide those necessary ingredients for people to survive. By when you build confidence in the government, you are reducing the problems, the challenges of the military. So we cannot concentrate on the military. We also have to do certain basic things on part of government to restore people's confidence.
I'll ask you this last question. In practical terms, what outcomes should Nigerians look for in the coming months to measure the effectiveness of these new service chiefs?
Well, you see, like I said when we started, the Chief of Defense Staff has been part of the whole team. So he will take it up from there, and we expect changes in tactics, changes in methods of operating. They say new broom sweeps cleaner. So I think they should also come up with their own ideas to build that confidence and possibly change the narrative from what we've been seeing before.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mike Ejiofor, former DSS Director.